Hey, it's your boy Deric coming to you live from inside my boardroom, and we just finished a closing here today. And one of the questions that come up that they asked me during the closing, and everyone kind of was like, it had an ear open, was like, what's happened with the marketplace? Where do you think this is going to go in the next year, 6 months, 18 months? Where's it going? I don't think anyone knows where that's going to go. I mean, we can kind of get a figure of where we think it's going to go at some points, but I thought about it and said, you know what, let's just bang out a video right now, because the reality is I wanted to know a little bit more facts too that I hadn't pulled. So, in the course of them leaving this room and me running to my office real quick and pulling some numbers, I wanted to share these with you guys because it's important to know if you guys want to sell during the winter, why would you do that? What's the benefit of doing that? Or should you buy, or should you wait, or where should you go with this? So interestingly enough, I've pulled some numbers for you guys. And it was actually surprising to me too. The actual inventory as of today, January 11th, Tuesday, is 2,302 homes in the market. Now typically, last year we had 3,800. Typically we'll have about 5,000 or 6,000 homes. So we're well below half of what we normally have, and maybe even 60% below where that is. And from last year to 2,338 to 2,300 to 3,800, I'm assuming that's another 45% that's down from that year. So going into 2022, we're already starting off at a deficit, in terms of what homes we normally have on the market. Now, what does that mean? I'm making this for the towns I do most of business in. This is not across the state, but most of them I do business in. So I pulled some active numbers right now. And if you're watching this is being put into one of your groups, and this is going to be for you. Bridgewater, 7 active homes. These are all single families we're talking about. West Bridgewater, 10. East Bridgewater, 3 homes. Raynham, 5 homes. Taunton, 18. Brockton, 39. Easton, 16. Mansfield, 4. Canton, 13. Stoughton, 12. Avon, 1. Abington, 2. Whitman, 5. Rockland, 3. Randolph, 3. Weymouth, 11, Braintree, 12. So everything is well below where it should be right now. So what does that mean for you? Well, number one, if you're a buyer, there isn't really much to choose from. So that always makes it a challenge in terms of trying to get that. Also as a buyer, rates spiked up over this weekend. If you haven't seen that, rates jumped from about 3.5 to 4, or just a shy under 4, depending on what your credit score is and where you're going. So what does that do for you? What do rates do in terms of real estate? Well, number one, for a buyer, they change your affordability. You're going to go from, if you're approved at 300 at 3.25%, and the rates change to 4%, you automatically lose probably 50 grand and go to 250. So now, because everything's about payments, you can only afford X amount of dollars a month. Based on those numbers, now you can only afford 250. So waiting didn't do you any good. Waiting for rates to do so, houses to come down, because anyone who waited just lost out with the rates that jumped up. Now, typically rates, if they jump up, will kind of level prices, but with inventory so low, that's not going to affect that price this year. So if you're looking to sell, there's definitely a benefit to doing it now in the wintertime versus waiting till springtime, because basically all you're waiting for is your competition to step up and put their house on the market. And everybody knows supply and demand. It's just the bigger supply, the less the demand. So I kind of pulled some stuff up that I thought was important about selling now if you guys are going to sell, or even if you're going to buy. Number one, lenders are less busy. So what does that mean, lenders are less busy? Lenders are less busy meaning some people have to wait 45, 60 days to close. Now, when you do a 30-day closing, you're going to hit 30-day closing. And what's the benefit of that for you? Number one, you close the deal on time, makes the seller happy if you're buying. Number two, your rate doesn't spike up because rates jump because you weren't locked in. So that's a huge benefit to you. Plus, you're going to get a little more care and attention from that mortgage broker because they're less busy than they will be in spring or summer. Motivated buyers. If you're a seller, why would you put the house on the market right now? And listen, anyone that tracks through snow and goes out in the cold is motivated. They either A, have to buy, or B, sold their home and then need 30, 60 days. Again, basically another have to buy because they sold their home. These guys don't come out, they're not tire kickers. They're not gonna come out in the snow and the cold, potentially risk themselves to COVID if they're not motivated in this market. And we had an open house last weekend, 43 people showed up. Now you think the weekend after the first, it wouldn't be anywhere. They had 43 people. That house got 7 offers, by the way, went over asking. So that is still possible. We talked about loans being more faster, which is exactly what it is. Homes get more money in the winter. Look, think of it this way. There's 10 homes to choose from. They're all at $200,000. You know, there's not a lot of inventory to look at. So you're going to make an offer on one. If they say no, you're going to have to go over to try to get the home. On average, homes are selling 9% faster over the winter than they are in the spring, and they get on average 2% more for their home than they would come the springtime. And again, that's supply and demand. There's no supply, demand's high, you got to overbid to get it. You're going to get more attention from your real estate agent. So the agent, like myself, who would list your home, may be down. Listings as the springtime comes, as you know, you have 20 or 30 listings. Wintertime, you have 5 or 10. So our time is a little bit more generous in terms of every single listing getting a little more attention, a little more love in terms of getting the home sold. And again, it all comes down to timing. It's if you guys can or have the ability to sell in the winter versus waiting, it might be a benefit. And I know a lot of the common misbeliefs for sellers are going to be, well, I want the pool to be open, I want the grass to be green, I want the flowers to pop up. I want the buyers to really get a feel for this. I get it. And if that's the case, if you can't get past that or see past that, then wait till springtime. But just know that everyone is fighting the same everyone's got snow in the yard. Everyone's lawn looks like crap. You know, no one has flowers, no one has the pool open. But if you can get more money now with the pool closed, you don't have to worry about opening it or planting the flowers or putting the fertilizer down or mowing the lawn. Is that something that you'd rather do now? Just get sold and move on to the next house. A lot of times too, you can get, this is a great opportunity for move up buyers. I mean, if you're going to sell your home and buy a bigger one, the chances are it's a better time now to do that than it comes springtime. You know, a couple things happen in springtime that people don't know about April and May. Prices generally dip a little bit. Why is that? Because everyone puts their home on at the same time. What do you think happens to the price when inventory spikes? In order the competition drops down. Will that happen this year? I don't know. It's hard to tell where it's going to go. Inventory suggests that it wouldn't go that way because there's just nothing out there. But typically, it would go that way. So let me give you an idea. Top of my head. Brockton, 39 homes. Typically, Brockton is going to have something between 280 and 320 this time of year. Come springtime, they can hit close to 550. That's not the case this year. It's going to be less homes to choose from. And so this is some of the benefits of, if you guys can get this, is what we're trying to tell you guys, some of the benefits of trying to sell now versus waiting. If you have to wait for some reason, then you guys have to wait. We're going to be in business in springtime as well. But if you're looking to take any advantages that are out there for sellers in terms of making more money, this might be one of those ones you want to say, like, you know what? I get it. Let's get the house on the market now instead of waiting and get this home sold so that we can move on. Now, if you don't have to buy, you can sell, and you already have a second home, you're moving to that one. This is a no-brainer for you. Like, why cut the lawn? Why plant the flowers? Why do all that stuff if you can avoid it? So that's what we're talking about doing here today, is trying to avoid spending an extra money and making the most amount of money you can make when you can make it. So that's kind of the idea of the story today. When I had people reach out to me today and just tell me, like, hey, you know, what do you think is going to happen with the market? Where's this going to go? That's my idea of where it's going to go. I think we're going to have a strong year coming in. I think anything under 5, I've been doing this 21 years, and 90% of my career, you got 5 or below, you're killing it. When I saw 2.5, 3.25, I was shocked. So even though the rates are at 4, it's still a killer deal. So I mean, it just comes down to affordability, what you can afford, what's available out there. So take a look at there, call your local realtor. If you guys are in one of these markets and you're thinking about selling, give me a call, 508-326-5320. I don't have a business yet, but I'm working hard to earn it. And I always like to throw up these informational videos every so often because, you know, I think some people are curious as to what's happening out there. Where's this market going to go? And I can give you my full one on it. And then if you guys have more questions, feel free to reach out. There's going to be a link in the description to get my contact information. You have my number, but if you want my digital business card, you can click on it, go to it. You got my email, all my social media marketing stuff. You can text me from that, and you just ask me a question. Or if you guys have a question you'd like to see a video on, leave it in the comment section here, whether it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you're seeing this for the first time. I read all the comments, so read it in the comment section, put it in there. If you want to see a video and of some subject that you think is worth talking about, let me know. If I know about it, I'll do it. If I don't, I'll tell you I don't. Anyways, it's good seeing you guys again. My name is Deric Lipski, Keller Williams Real Estate, 508-326-5320. I'll see you at the next one.